Okay, part four. Let me make sure the mic. Yeah, mic's on. We're good. Um, this is where it starts going downhill. Because as I got older, my youth was very complicated. Um, I want to save this part, but I really can't because the rest of it becomes history and molds who I become. I was a strong Christian. I was a believer. I was hard headed, like I am now. I wasn't always compromising, like I am now. It just comes with being a bullheaded youth. And the one thing that I noticed throughout the course of my life was the more you take charge of your own life, the um, the more apt you are to have charge in your life. And it was a pattern that I noticed rather early. I'm over here twitching. I'm playing with my flag because I have a hard time speaking into a lens. Now, about the age of I don't know when. I'm not going to say that my parents were bad parents because they weren't. They did the best they could with everything that was made available to them because I see their struggle now. I'm on the other end of it. So I see where they were and their struggle and why some things happened the way they did. And then I see their struggle and I understand what happened with other things. It comes with growing up. And a lot of people sheltered me in my life. And I think I was a little on the little of the I don't care side of education. I just did the school work and didn't pay attention to it. Uh, just performed my little duties like a robot. By the age of 7, I was an alcoholic, and I smoked cigarettes. It's easy to say that you don't drink a lot, but I had lots of friends whose parents also drank, and we all managed to create a little habit for ourselves. Well, the only real bonus that came from that was my family moved to Utah, and when my family moved to Utah, I didn't have the alcohol withdrawals. I think I was too young, but I know I drank quite frequently. By the time I went to Utah, I had a chance to reverse my course, frankly, because I didn't have the alcohol connections I had before. But it didn't take very long. Youth culture and drugs today are no different than they were when I was a kid, only that the mindset is different. The escapism is still true. That's why I used to drink at an early age, was to forget who I was at 8. I didn't even really have an identity in my youth. But at 8, I had a problem. We'll get to that. That'll be another video. Well, family events came and went, and there'd always be beer. And then when my family moved to Utah, it didn't take me very long to find a local bartender that could score me beer, friends that could score me beer. And it was at this time I was introduced to marijuana. Well, you can say, oh, marijuana is not that bad a drug. Um, a drug is a drug, and nothing segues or gateways anything else. I I later on in my life met a young man whose father introduced him to heroin at the tender age of 11. And I'm going to try to keep names out of all of this. But I was introduced to marijuana. Um, I was smoking at the age of 9. I quit by the age of 11. Still drinking. Baseball sort of weighed in. Football really weighed in on smoking. It was time to quit. Um, by the age of 12, I had regained a new type of drinking and drug problem. I was scoring joints. I was scoring eight, you know, normal rep, eighths of weed, quarter of weed, eventually a half a weed. Then finally you score the whole ounce and you invite all your friends and they all sit around and smoke your weed and don't call you for 3 weeks because we're all a bunch of kids and we're broke. Like I said, I had a job. I always had a job. But when I was doing drugs or alcohol, I didn't have a job after a while. Why would a young man who went to church every week still drink? Well, Jesus drank. Everyone I knew drank. My parents drank. My mom did not drink. She had a Miller beer about once a year, if that. So she drank for the enjoyment of the beverage. Um, my dad, my uncles, both sides of the family, their family, excluding my grandmother, all drank for the mere point of getting drunk. All of their kids drank, from teens on down, for the point of getting drunk. So we'd all sit around together at family reunions, family gatherings, get drunk, kids included. There's more, but I'm going to omit it. I never really got strung out on hard drugs. At the age of 19, I was introduced to cocaine. Didn't care much for it then, but you have to remember in between it all, I managed to keep a little bit of a life, maintain my position in my family. My grades suffered, my life suffered, I was suffering, and I couldn't tell anyone. I was arrested at the age of 12 for alcohol consumption. I was sent to a drug and alcohol recovery course. I stopped drinking. That went on for 3 years. So I didn't start drinking really again until I was 17, 18, trying to be cool, high school, hanging out with your friends, and it started all over again. Um, at the age of 19, I'll tell that story another day. But at the age of 19, I was still drinking. 20, I stopped. I stopped cold. I stopped cigarettes too. 20 to 25, I didn't drink a drop. Not a glass of wine. Rarely after 25 to 26, and then 26 to 28, I was drinking quite a bit, and I haven't really drank since, and I'm 43 years old. This isn't the recovery story of an alcoholic. This is an everyday kid who didn't even know what alcoholism was. Did I ever drive drunk? No. I lost a brother to a drunk driver. It's my brother that died. And I said, if nothing else, I won't drive drunk. And I haven't. Do I drink now? No. It's one of those things, I just don't need it. I keep beer around, my friends come around, and I might have a little bit of beer with them. But to say that I drink or I'm a recovering alcoholic would both be false. I was just someone who was trying to run away from something and hide from it. And I never wanted it to touch me. And when I was done drinking, I was done hiding. I knew who I was. I knew where I was in the geopolitical world. And I was just a working class puke. So coming up in a little bit, we're going to do part 5. And we'll keep going with this because apparently I'm going to run out of time. So, see you later.